Hey, welcome back. I am on Reddit looking into Customer Success Audit on Gusto, which is a payroll and benefits platform. It's a payroll and benefits platform software that is cloud-based. I've used it before to manage some teams on kind of an HR role. Overall, I thought it was pretty streamlined on the user side, which was great. But let's see what is going wrong here on the Reddit thread and how we might be able to audit that problem and suggestions to fix it for customer success. It says, if you're thinking about using Gusto, don't. It's just popping in here to say I've had the absolute worst experience with Gusto and I wish somebody would have warned me. It says I have an S Corp where I am the only employee and as of now. It says they completely screwed up my payroll. I had to hire a payroll restoration team and CPA to fix everything, and I'm already $3K deep in cleanup costs. I've talked to their customer service over 30 times in the past 6 months. Jeez Louise, okay? That's a lot to not get something resolved. Always someone from their country has no idea what I'm talking about. You're stuck explaining basic US payroll terms while they give you copy-paste replies that their manager gave them and escalate things that never get resolved. To top it off, they never filed my W-2s. I spoke to 2 IRS agents who confirmed it. Gusto is adamant that they did, and just kept gaslighting me like I was the one who was wrong. Who's lying, the IRS or you guys? But be so for real, okay? They also misfiled a bunch of my state payroll stuff. Literally nothing has gone smoothly since I signed up. It says, so I have to fix my payrolls, pay penalties late. What a domino effect. Holy cow. I wish I would have just hired a small local company, which is what I ended up doing. Less expensive and way less stressful than using Gusto. If you're a small business owner thinking about using software to save time or money, just don't. It's not worth it. Learn $3,000 from my mistake. Also, I was recommended by others to go with Gusto. It seemed at times they were good. I was just speaking from my own experience. After reading their Reddit threads, the past year has not been good for them. I wouldn't recommend them to my worst enemy. Oh no. The first thing that really jumps out at me about this is they've reached out 30 times in the past 6 months trying to resolve this. There's obviously a ticketing problem. There's obviously a management problem in being able to respond to problems within the customer success side. You have a huge amount of friction and someone being able to extract the value that they're trying to get out of this. Says they never filed my W-2s. They're trying to get all of these different things fixed and they're not getting the help that they need. They're always talking to someone who seems underqualified. Just sounds terrible. It says I'm getting things that people are copy pasting that they have their manager to give them and escalate things that never get resolved. If this is what's happening to one customer, I can't imagine what's happening to other people. A few of the other posts were saying they've gone downhill in the past year for customer success and customer support. This really goes to not being a trusted advisor in eroding the trust that you could have with a client by not resolving what they need help with and making them come back over and over again. They're not extracting the value they want if they've called you or messaged you or opened 30 tickets about a problem and it's not getting resolved. Important paperwork not being filed. It really sounds like potentially there could be a double-edged sword here that included items or what is going to be part of a fee is not being correctly or fully communicated so that the client understands what they're paying for, what they're going to get, and how it's going to work. There could be a miscommunication or a data breakdown at that point. I can't tell from this post, but that's where my mind goes, that there could be that first problem, that what Gusto is providing to the client is not being portrayed clearly. So that's a problem with onboarding. You're eroding trust with your client. you're not delivering the value that they're looking for, and you're creating an immense amount of friction to the point that this client left. You got churn because of how they were handled, which is the one thing that every company tries to avoid. You don't want your clients to churn. You want to grow your clientele base. You want to grow your business. So they need to help the customer extract value. They need to be able to track these tickets, to be able to stack them or link them in some way so they can see what's going on. People can see the history, the problem. They can escalate the issue to somebody who can actually resolve it quickly or next day at the latest. Deliver that value and keep that client on board. There could be an onboarding issue in what the client actually expects, but I suspect there's a little bit of that, and there's a lot of disorganization and the company outsourcing its support to external countries where there's just not going to be the awareness of the full situation. And that might be an internal issue with how they've organized their tickets or whatnot, but there's obviously room for improvement to be able to deliver what your customer needs to extract from the system, which is supposed to make their lives easier by managing HR, payroll, bills, whatever else you're trying to do, expense reports. So that's what I'm looking at here. There's a lot to unpack just with this one, but you got my suggestions for how I would first approach the situation and try to delve deeper into what's going on and then be able to fix that. So more next time, and I will catch you guys soon.